I would like to welcome Pierre to the stage in his second visit to Rome.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm so glad to be in Rome again. So Teads, we are a global leader for premium video advertising. We provide publishers with a video monetization platform, and we are the inventors of outstream video advertising. I don't know how familiar you are with this concept of outstream video advertising. It means video advertising that we distribute as a content. We don't need to put it together with existing video editorial content. It stands alone. And I want to talk to you today about this very important issue of viewability, which is really our core focus in the company. Fixing viewability is the core DNA of our company. We have been working in the last 3 or 4 years to bring solutions to fix this issue. So we all know that the landscape is changing rapidly. The media consumption has been completely revolutionized in the last 3 or 4 years, especially with the rise of mobile. You see this is in the US, but this is happening everywhere. People spend more time online than watching television. This is huge, and this is moving so fast. So obviously, the budgets are following eyeballs, but as you can see here, although video advertising is growing very rapidly, it's still a small percentage of TV budgets. TV budgets globally represent 450 billion. So video advertising is still in the range of 6–7% right now, and will grow to 10% in the 2 coming years. It's nice, but why isn't it more? We believe that this question of viewability is really one of the most important factors which is slowing down this move of TV budgets to where the audience is now, which is the internet. We have done a survey with Forrester, which is just coming out, which is showing that over 1/3 of the buyers, brands and agencies together, are slowing down their internet video advertising buys because of this viewability issue. So you heard a couple of minutes ago about this MRC standard. The industry has been trying to define standards to measure viewability, and the AIB and MRC have come together with this format. 2 seconds in view for 50% of the player. So I think the best way to let you realize what it is to show you what it means. Here we go. So we are on the page. It's not yet launched. Wait. Starting now. Finished. Who has seen it? Raise your hand. Who has seen the brand? 0. Okay, but we all know it. We all know it. So why is this standard so weak? Because users don't like to be forced to watch any kind of advertising. The non-skippable pre-roll model is completely broken. People are trained to escape a forced advertising in a matter of milliseconds. And actually, there are 3 causes to explain this viewability issue. The first one is the fact that users escape in a matter of milliseconds. The second one is the fact that, unfortunately, in some cases, the video is displayed out of the screen. I saw it again yesterday, and it was not on a Tier 2 or Tier 3 site. And the third factor are the bots. But don't think that the bots explain the majority of the situation. Not at all. Let's look at the numbers. This is a survey coming from TubeMogul. It shows that altogether, 78% of the video ads which are bought by the agencies and brands are never seen, meaning they are seen less than 2 seconds. 78%. If you look at the most premium part of the market, it's still 53%. And 70% of the gap is explained by those users who are escaping the ad because they don't like to be forced. So to make things very clear, there is a confusion in the market sometimes between completion rate and viewability rate. So let's look at what it is in reality. The strength, the apparent strength of the pre-roll model is that the video runs until the end. So the completion rate is very high, 70%. But if you look at the completed viewable video rate, you see that after a few seconds in the first quartile, you have already only 24% which are in view. And if you go to the end of the video, you only have 20% which are in view. This is a situation with the non-skippable pre-roll ads. So we believe at Teads that the internet deserves something better than this model, which is kind of copy of the old television model. We believe that video advertising can be disruptive, but not interruptive. We believe in 100% viewable ads 100% of the time. And we believe in premium environment. That's the reason why we have come out with this concept of outstream, which means view-to-play video advertising format that sits outside of the video stream. We have been working together with the most prestigious publishers across the planet, publishers like Il Messaggero in Roma, like The Guardian you see on the screen, The Washington Post in the US, Le Monde in France, the Nikkei in Japan, because we are a truly global company. And these publishers have massively adopted the format that I want to show you. Why? Because A, it's a format which is extremely respectful of the user. The user is never forced to watch the ad. It's an opt-in format. B, it allows the publishers to generate additional revenue from video advertising without having to turn themselves into being a television channel. And C, it allows the brands to reach their audience in a massive way. Our global reach is right now 662 million unique users across the globe in the most premium environment and in a way which is respectful. If you are a brand, the way you talk to the customer is very important, is as important as the message. You have to show respect to the user. This is why it's adopted now by so many brands locally and globally, brands from all sectors, from luxury sector, like Cartier, Gucci, Breitling, Louis Vuitton, and many others, Emirates, to more mass market, like Volkswagen, Hyundai, Kia, etc., like consumer goods. It has been adopted massively by the industry for local campaigns and for global campaigns. We are capable of running the same campaign in 40 different countries at the same time, ensuring the same level of quality. So let's look at the user experience. When the user arrives on the page, he wants to read an article. Here on The Guardian, he notices nothing special. He reads the article. His attention is in the center of the screen. Scrolling down, he notices this video which opens. He may or may not be interested. If he's not interested, he will continue reading his article and the video will go in pause. So he will not be annoyed and he's free to read his article. If finally he's interested, he can come back. The video starts at the same time as it was put in pause before, and he can watch the video until the end. This is a format that we sell mostly on CPV, which stands for completed view, cost per completed view. We only charge the brands and agencies for those users who go until the end of the advertising, and we also sell it CPM. You could compare our CPV model to YouTube TrueView. The big difference is that YouTube is an opt-out model. You have to decide not to watch the ad if you don't want to watch it. our approach is opt-in. You have to decide that you want to watch the ad if you want to watch it, which creates a big difference in terms of impact on the user and user engagement. Now, if you compare to Facebook, actually Facebook has been copying our format. I'm sure you have noticed that this is almost exactly the same format. The big difference being that we are in the most qualitative environments locally and globally. Now let's look at the results. This is a survey we did with Moat. You may know this company. It's part of a bunch of companies whose job is to measure everything, measure viewability of all the campaigns. You see that after 2 seconds, with our format, 93% of the videos are in views. Pre-roll, they have already lost 50% of the audience. Reach completion rate, complete rate, 100% for us, because we charge only for those views which are viewed completely. 72% for the pre-roll, but unfortunately, only 33% were in view, while 90% of our views were in view. So it is the average benchmark that we did in the US last month, in April, for all campaigns. Now let's look at more qualitative results, such as brand association. This one is coming from France. You see brand association for in-read and in-board, which is a similar format but even more powerful, put on top of the page. The brand ad recall is in the range of 47 to 50%, while pre-roll is only at 32%. And association is super strong with 27 to 37%, while pre-roll is only at 22%. And it's even better for us on tablets. It's more than 50% on tablets. So you will understand why we are championing new viewability formats. We believe that brands and agencies should buy videos which are viewable for 30 seconds on 50% of the player. This should be the high-level standard which could really serve the interest of the brands. And naturally, on mobile, as the user behavior is slightly different and you have more and more short videos, we believe that 15 seconds for 50% of the player could be the right standard. Finally, brands really deserve viewable video views. And you understand that you cannot separate the question of viewability standards from the question of user experience, because the viewability issue comes primarily from the problem with the user experience. If you look at the most successful video platforms in the industry, YouTube, Facebook, who has copied our format actually, and us, we have all something in common. We don't sell that old-fashioned, forced video advertising. All our formats are respectful of the user. So I think it's time to change the user experience, to adopt more modern formats, which are more adapted to the internet, and finally, to reinvent video advertising. Thank you. I don't know whether we have time for a couple of questions.
I think we have a few more minutes, so if anybody has a question about viewability or the technology to overcome it. Yes, there's a question over here. Hold 1 second, we need the microphone because otherwise we can hear you, but the video can't hear you. Microphone is coming right there, on the corner over there. Sorry, Birgit. It's a long walk. Excellent, thank you.
Pierre, hi.
Hi.
Great presentation. My name is Arif, I'm from Blipper. I have a quick question. You mentioned disruptive versus interruptive. It's sort of the headline you have. Have you done any studies that talk about the video in relevant content and how that performs over, just placing the video in the content? So having the actual text relevant to the video. Do you have any studies around that?
You mean using this kind of format to display other kind of advertising than video? Is it your question?
Yeah, I'm just thinking from a user experience
Yeah,
perspective.
obviously, what's super interesting in this format is that the attention of the user is really in the center of the page, especially when you are reading an article. So in some cases, we have used this placement, not the format, to display rich media advertising. I wouldn't use it for a basic graphical advertising, but why not for rich media?
Very good. I see a question in the back. Is that Jerry? It is Jerry.
Hello, my name is Jerry D'Angelo. I work for Mondelez International. Pierre, you may have mentioned this in your presentation, but what's the relationship between the charging mechanism and viewability and compatibility, or indeed is there one? Because by comparison, if you look at TrueView, the completion rate has a, certainly as a proportion of the total second length, has a direct relationship to whether you pay or not.
So let me rephrase your question, as sometimes my English is limited. do you want a kind of comparison between the TrueView model and our model?
So, for example, on TrueView, you will pay only when there is a certain level of completion of the video.
Yeah. So on TrueView, you are forced to watch 5 seconds, and then you pay only if the user doesn't skip the ad and goes until the end for 30 seconds. That's the TrueView model. On our model, the user is not forced to watch the ad at all. He can avoid it or skip it the first second, and you pay also only if the user goes until the end of the ad 30 seconds. So obviously, if you would measure, by the way, YouTube has published a survey about viewability a couple of days ago. I don't know whether some of you have seen it. And they claim they have super high viewability rates, comparable to ours. But it's obvious because the people who don't want to watch the ad, they are forced to stay 5 seconds. So if you measure it on 2 seconds, they have super high ratio, yeah.
All right. We have a very large group that comes on next. I want to thank Pierre for
Thank
his
you.
second visit to Rome. Thank you very much.